Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Spilling Studio. I'd like to start off with an apology for the late posting of this video. Work has been hectic for me these past few weeks, so a few things have gotten off track, but we should be back to our usual schedule of Monday uploads, so thank you for your patience. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Sam, and doing a bunch of practice questions was the biggest help for me when I was studying for my exams. So each week I create 7 ARE practice questions designed to help you pass your next exam. There's one question per exam topic and a bonus question at the end, so stick around. First up is practice management. Which project delivery method involves the owner engaging a single contract with an integrated team consisting of the architect, contractor, and sometimes other key stakeholders from the project's inception? Construction manager as advisor, design bid build, or construction manager at risk? Feel free to pause here to answer. And the answer is design build. The key phrase in this question is single contract. There's only one project delivery method with one contract, and that is design build. Design build is a method where the owner signs a contract with a single entity, the design builder, which is a team composed of, at minimum, a contractor and an architect. Sometimes other stakeholders like engineers or specialty consultants are part of the team as well. Design build promotes teamwork, streamlines communication, and can potentially lead to more efficient project delivery due to the seamless integration of design and construction expertise under one contract. Construction manager as advisor has a minimum of 3 contracts: owner to architect, owner to contractor, and owner to construction advisor. This method involves the owner hiring a construction manager early in the process to provide pre-construction services, but they do not build the building. Construction manager at risk has a minimum of 2 contracts: owner to architect and owner to contractor. This is similar to construction manager as advisor, but in this method, the construction manager also is the contractor who builds the building. This one is called at risk since the contractor provides the owner with a GMP, which stands for guaranteed maximum price. So the contractor is guaranteeing that they will only charge the owner that price to complete the project. If something happens and the project exceeds that price, then the contractor pays out of pocket for that cost. And finally, design bid build has a minimum of 2 contracts: owner to architect and owner to contractor. This is your traditional project delivery method where the architect designs the building, the project is bid on by the contractors, and then the contractor builds the project. Now on to project management. What is a potential risk associated with project perfection syndrome within an architecture firm? Increased client satisfaction due to meticulous attention to detail, improved project timelines and reduced costs by minimizing revisions, overemphasis on achieving perfection leading to project delays and increased expenses, streamline project processes and enhanced team morale through perfectionist attitudes. Pause here to answer. And the answer is overemphasis on achieving perfection leading to project delays and increased expenses. Project perfection syndrome refers to the tendency within an architecture firm to excessively focus on achieving perfection in every aspect of the project. While attention to detail is valuable, an overemphasis on perfection can lead to detrimental outcomes such as project delays and increased costs. So as you can see in the graph here, at a certain point, the time and effort put into the project does not advance the project as far as the initial effort put in. If we pretend the timeline intervals are at 10 days, we can see how this plays out. The first 10 days improved the project by about 55%. The next 10 days, at day 20, the project went from 55% to 80%, which is an increase of 25%. 10 days later, at day 30, that betters the project by 10%. And as we keep going, the percentage of improvement continues to decrease even though the intervals of time remain the same. So once we get to day 50, the project only got 2% better. You could compare this to when you're working on your final project for studio. Maybe you're building a model and the trees you decided to use just don't feel right and you want to switch them out, but you also know that you have 2 sections and a render and a site plan to complete in the next week. You know, switching out the trees isn't the biggest deal, but it would make your project just a bit more perfect. You could work on that model for another month, making it perfect, but it could cause delays in your other deliverables, and it may not be the most efficient way to use your time. At a firm, spending too much time perfecting a project can result in the firm losing money since they did not account for this extra time when contracting with the owner. At studio and at work, you have to make a decision on when to stop working on a project so you have time to get other deliverables done, you're able to deliver your project on time, and so you're able to complete the project within the hours your firm allocated for that job. Next up is programming and analysis. A homeowner agrees to grant a neighboring property owner the right to access a driveway to reach their backyard garage. Which type of easement is being established in this situation? Joint use easement, access easement, support easement, conservation easement. Pause to answer. And the correct answer is access easement. An access easement is established when one property owner grants another party the right to access their property for a specific purpose. In this scenario, the homeowner is allowing the neighboring property owner to access their driveway to reach the neighbor's backyard garage. This type of easement grants permission to use a portion of the property, in this case the driveway, to access another area, providing a legal right of passage for the neighbor's convenience to access their garage. Joint use easements typically involve shared usage or joint ownership of a particular property or area by multiple parties. In this scenario, the easement granted is specifically for access to the driveway rather than shared or joint usage of the driveway itself. Support easements involve the right to use a portion of a property to support or maintain another property. It usually pertains to structural support or necessary maintenance elements such as a right to place a support beam or a structure on that property. This doesn't fit the scenario where a neighboring property owner needs to access a driveway. And lastly, conservation easements are established to protect and conserve natural resources, wildlife habitats, scenic views, or historical areas from development and does not apply to this scenario. Our project planning question is: a project involves designing the roofing system for a commercial building in a region with extreme temperature variations and occasional hailstorms. The design goal is to prioritize durability and weather resistance. Which roofing material would be most suitable for this scenario? Built-up bituminous roofing, single-ply TPO roofing, single-ply EPDM roofing, or elastic liquid roofing? Pause here to answer. And the answer is built-up bituminous roofing. Built-up bituminous roofing, commonly known as tar and gravel roofing, consists of multiple layers of bitumen and reinforcing fabrics. This construction makes it durable and able to withstand various weather conditions, including extreme temperature variations and hailstorms. Because of the multiple layers, built-up bituminous roofing provides excellent weather resistance and protection against hail impact. This roofing system also offers good thermal performance, which can help regulate the building's temperature in regions with extreme temperature fluctuations. Our other options of TPO, EPDM, and elastic liquid roofing are great roofing systems, but do not provide the same level of durability and impact resistance against hailstorms as built-up bituminous roofing does. Single-ply TPO and EPDM roofings are single-layer membranes. They provide good weather resistance but not great impact resistance. Elastic liquid roofing involves applying a liquid coating that cures to form a seamless membrane. While it can be durable and weather resistant, its resistance to impact from hail fails in comparison to built-up bituminous roofing. A brief pause here to remind you that I post new questions every week, so please hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on a video. It also really helps me out, so thank you. Now on to project development. In the design phase of a commercial building project, the engineering team is determining the ideal steel shape for supporting a horizontal load in a beam-column connection with spans of 150 feet. The team aims to choose a steel shape that provides optimal strength and stability while supporting the applied load. Which structural steel shape is best suited for supporting a horizontal load in a beam-to-column connection in this scenario? Wide flange, American Standard beam, structural T, American Standard channel, or angle with equal legs? Pause to answer. The answer is wide flange. The wide flange shape is widely used in structural applications due to its excellent load-bearing capacity and versatility. It offers significant strength in both horizontal and vertical load-bearing situations and is suitable for spans up to 300 feet. In a beam-column connection scenario where a steel shape needs to support a horizontal load, the wide flange shape is a popular choice. It's designed with wide flanges in a vertical web that provides excellent resistance to bending moments, making it suitable for handling both vertical and horizontal loads. The flanges can withstand bending stresses, while the vertical web resists shear forces and provides stability. The American Standard beam is very similar to the wide flange shape. The American Standard beams are I-shaped, but they have a slightly different dimension and load-bearing capacities based on their standards and are only able to span up to 100 feet. When these members are cut in half, that's where the structural T's come from. The wide flange creates the WT, and the American beam creates the ST. In the scenario described, a T shape would not be as effective in handling horizontal loads as a wide flange due to differences in load-bearing capabilities. In the scenario described, a T shape would not be as effective in handling horizontal loads as a wide flange due to differences in load-bearing capabilities. T's are typically used to span the floor or roof, or they're used as reinforcement. Channels are used for specific applications and provide resistance to torsional forces. They are not as optimal as wide flange beams for handling horizontal loads in a beam-to-column connection. Channels are typically used in conjunction with beams. Angles are typically used for providing corner bracing or serving as secondary structural elements rather than primary load-bearing members for horizontal loads. Next up is construction evaluation. During the construction of a commercial building, unforeseen soil conditions are encountered, necessitating immediate excavation modifications to ensure safe and stable foundations. The changes will lead to a cost increase and a slight extension of the project timeline. Which document is most appropriate for formalizing these excavation modifications, considering the cost increase and timeline extension? Construction Change Directive, Change Order, or Architect's Supplemental Instructions? Pause here to answer. The answer is change order. A change order is used to formalize modifications to the original contract's scope, cost, or schedule. It is employed when changes occur during construction that impact the project. Change orders are necessary when unforeseen conditions or modifications affect the project in ways that were not initially accounted for in the contract. In the scenario described, where unforeseen soil conditions require immediate excavation modifications, a change order is the appropriate document. This formalizes the changes, outlining the increased cost and adjusted timeline, and ensures that all parties involved are in agreement regarding the alterations to the project scope and contractual items. Construction change directives are used when immediate action is necessary, but an agreement on adjustments to the contract sum or time cannot be reached. In this scenario, there was no mention of a disagreement between any of the parties, so this would not be the best choice. An architect's supplemental instructions are typically used for minor changes or clarifications that do not significantly impact cost or schedule. They are not designed for formalizing changes that lead to cost increases or time extensions. Last but not least, our bonus question is: an architectural firm aiming to enhance employee engagement and foster a collaborative work culture, the management seeks methods to encourage active participation and idea generation among staff members. The firm emphasizes initiatives that enable employees to contribute ideas, solve problems collectively, and enhance overall productivity. Which strategy aligns most effectively with the firm's goals of encouraging employees to actively participate in generating ideas and problem solving within a collaborative environment? Quality control circle, study groups, or employee stock ownership plan? Pause here to answer. And the answer is quality control circle. Quality control circles are small groups of employees who voluntarily come together to identify, analyze, and solve work-related problems. They focus on improving processes, quality, productivity, and addressing challenges within their scope of work. GCCs promote active employee involvement, idea sharing, and problem solving within a collaborative setting, aligning with the firm's goal of encouraging employees to contribute ideas and solve problems collectively. Study groups typically involve employees gathering to learn and discuss specific subjects or topics related to their work or industry. They are typically formed to tackle a specific objective. At my firm, we created a group to work on our social media presence, which at the time was non-existent. When we were in the process of determining which platforms to join, developing how we wanted to come across, creating post ideas, and developing standard processes, we would meet once a month to review our progress. Once we had everything set up and it was all moving along as planned, we were able to drop off the monthly meetings, and now we just check in by email when needed. This would be an example of a study group that is developed for a specific task and then dissolves once completed. An employee stock ownership plan is a program that allows employees to own a stake in the company through stocks. While it can foster a sense of ownership and engagement, it primarily deals with ownership structure and does not directly promote the collaborative problem solving and idea generation sought by the firm. That wraps up our questions for this week. Remember to check out the description for a list of some of my favorite study books. Let me know in the comments which subject areas you're struggling with, and I'll do my best to cover it in the next video. Thank you all for joining. Please subscribe, and good luck on your next exam. You got this!